Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, April 26, 2024. I'm Giovanni Betancourt, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets. So we saw this week's earnings and economic data are making one thing very clear. With Federal Reserve interest rate cuts still on the distant horizon, the fate of the Magnificent Seven technology companies that drove returns last year and stocks in general is tied to the mass of artificial intelligence. Obviously, big tech is the front line. Microsoft and Alphabet on Thursday got a boost from pushing the narrative that investing in AI will boost revenue in the future, unlike Facebook parent Meta platforms, which try to tell a similar story but saw its shares drop. These two were able to demonstrate concrete ways AI can be monetized. It helps that they are also heavily invested in cloud computing, which is key to developing or to deploying AI applications. On the macroeconomic front, the U.S. Department of Commerce preliminary reading on Thursday showed that the U.S. economy grew at 1.6% annualized rate in the first quarter, weaker than expectations of 2.5%. The GDP report was the worst of both worlds. Economic growth is slowing and inflationary pressures are persisting. The Fed wants to see inflation start coming down in a persistent manner, but the market wants to see economic growth and corporate profits increasing. Today's Today, all eyes are focused on the U.S. core personal consumption expenditures price index, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. In a couple of hours from now, economists on average forecast that the core PCE price index will come in at plus 0.3% month over month and plus 2.6% year over year in March, compared to the previous values of plus 0.3 month over month and plus 2.8 year over year. The Eurostock 50 futures are up about positive 0.75% this morning as investors cheered blockbusters earnings from Microsoft and Alphabet. Technology and construction stocks led the gains on Friday. Asian stock market today settled in the green. China Shanghai closed up plus 1.17%, and Japan's Nikkei 225 closed up plus 0.81%. Now, the Fed also delivers its latest decision next week. It's unlikely to offer much help for stocks. Fourth quarter economic growth was weaker than expected, but suggested inflation is still too hot. In other words, it doesn't get the Fed closer to cutting rates. So today's inflation data are key. That means that the pressure on AI investors will have to hope is up to the task. And with that being said, let's take a look at what we can speculate for today's market fluctuation. We saw yesterday that as the GDP came out and that number was not as expected, we saw that the markets did a strong pullback down to right around 17,300, which fluctuated below our support level, but quickly it recovered and closed in the green. Today we're seeing some sort of similar fluctuation as yesterday. Initially, the oil, no, the energy companies like Exxon, Mobil, they came out reporting before previous market opening in some bad numbers. But let's see, others like oil companies that are reporting today are still on the deck. So let's see if that fluctuation will take us up to our, at least I will say today, if we see some sort of same fluctuation as in the upside as yesterday, we probably come up to our level of 18,000 in the Nasdaq. As far as the S&P goes, let me raise my resistance to right 5150-ish and see if that will be enough for today fluctuation to the upside for the S&P. As far as for the Dow goes, well, the Dow has been looking more sluggish. So let's see if 38,700-ish will be at that level, and 38,000 using that level as psychological support round number. Crude oil is looking to break up to the upside. So let's move our resistance to 85 and our support. Let's use This lows of 82,750 for crude oil for today. I mean bullish with crude oil. Then we have here Nat Gas. Nat Gas as this it seems to continue this previous move to the downside. So I'm gonna use 1.6 to 3 as my support, and that's my target for today. Then we have gold. So gold is breaking out of that trading range that has been in the past few days. So let's see if in favor to the upside. 37, 2,380 is our resistance, our target for today. And then we have silver. So silver, I'm going to use 28 round number, and I'm going to use the low that was created on Monday. So up to no to the upside. The moving averages, the medium of the Bollinger Bands is looking to cross over the moving average of 9 periods. So that will be a nice bullish scenario when it happens. Then we have here copper. So copper continues to just to make higher highs as yesterday we saw, and so let's stay bullish with copper. Looking at copper to reach $5 next week easily, and silver $30. So Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is just continue to stay within range. Just continue creating this consolidation stage in Bitcoin. So 70,000 resistance, 60,000 support. That's gonna when it moves in thousands. So the currency is looking again. The euro finally has picked its head above 107. Will it stay there? Let's see. Let's bring our support down to right around yesterday's low, and our resistance. Let's bring that puppy down to about 107,800. Then we have the pound, but it's also looking to recuperate itself, recover from the sluggish low that we made on the April 22nd. So let's bring our support level to Wednesday's fluctuation. There we have our target for the pound. The dollar index, again, dollar index creating that coffin of congestion, lateral movement. Let's see if we're gonna move to the upside or to the downside. I'm gonna speculate that the dollar index will stop somewhere around here and just begin to trade lower. That's it for me today. Have a great trading day and have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.